I'm Peter Drucker. Many texts on management begin with the injunction, plan your work. But effective executives don't focus on work. They focus on contribution. They don't say, my work is keeping all the records of all the expenditures and all the revenues of this company. They say, it's my job to supply our management with all the information they need to make their decisions. They start out by saying, what contribution can I make that would really make a difference to the performance and the results of this company? But even executives that focus on contribution don't always get the full results. As you will see from the few scenes we are going to show you in a minute or two, they easily lose their contribution. They lose it sometimes because they indulge in that very common weakness, the arrogance of the expert who believes that everybody else has to know his language and has to speak his jargon. Or they do it, particularly the young and bright ones, because they believe the rest of us are mind readers and can figure out what they are doing, even though they do their level best not to tell us. So the effective executives do not only ask what their contribution should be, they also ask who in this company has to know what I'm doing and what I'm trying to contribute, and in what form do I have to present it so that he can understand it and can use it to make himself a better and more effective executive.
There he goes again. Every time I want something, it's, I'll call you back. Did I bring him in to run that department or be one of the jet set? That is always a solid little part of our operation when you realize that 10% of our production is sold out of the country.
That department's held its own year in, year out. We get a 3-4% increase in sales annually.
And, of course, for years it was run by old Chris Whittaker, supposedly run. Of course, he was mostly retired anyway. Remember that golf game we used to have every afternoon? But I really didn't mind as long as John Maurer, his assistant, was really running it.
Yeah, ran it well. Right on the button, the way a good department should be.
You're right, Ralph. I can't argue. But when old Chris Whittaker officially retired, I thought that the department could do a bit better than it was doing.
Now, there's resentment of the promotion around here, too, Ev.
See, why don't I have Peter Drucker take a look? I never did mention the export department to him.
You see Baker?
For a little while, yes.
What was your impression?
Too early to see it.
You know, he should have stayed in domestic sales. He was great as Charlie Fisher's assistant. Why move him up just because he's young and rash? You met John. What was your impression of him? He's a fine man, isn't he? It's a shame. It's a real shame.
I just saw John in the lobby, Rita. He'll be here in a minute.
Thanks.
How's it going, Mother Rita? You know, he never talks about what's happened.
He's fine, Frank. A little hurt, a little disappointed, but fine.
I tell you, I just don't understand management policies these days. I really don't.
No one seems to realize this company revolves around what we manufacture. Now, I go into Baker and start talking about the simplest technical things, and he looks at me blankly. Well, you know, John knows all of that. Now, we communicate.
Well, the export department won't go under, but a lot of John's life has gone into making it as good as it is. He was owed a promotion.
Tell me, Baker, Charlie Fisher in domestic sales tells me you're a hotshot salesman, and here you've been export sales manager for quite some time, and you don't seem to do any selling.
Mr. Lansing is also under the impression that we're doing pretty great in Europe and elsewhere because we show that famous 4.2% increase in business. The truth is, though, the market in Europe is doubling almost every year.
You have other ideas?
Could be.
Let's hear them.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion I'm taking a chance spilling this prematurely, but, well, I'll ride my hunch here. Besides, I'm getting a little tired of being labeled Peck's bad boy and Lansing's folly.